Meow 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 meow. Hi! Today I'm gonna show you how I made these cute face masks. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is to make some measurements for the pattern. From your nose to your chin and from your nose to your cheek. And now with these measurements I'm making a rectangle. Well, in my case it's a square. Now I'm going to measure my jawline, starting from the chin. And with this measurement I'm going to make a marking. After that we connect these dots. And I'm also adding these curves for the mask to adapt to the chin and nose. And I'm going to remake this line so it's a little more curved. And now with the measurement that I get from my jaw to my cheek, I'm marking in the middle of this side, connecting these lines. And voila! Now it's time to cut it off. Looks fine. And now I'm going to pick my fabrics. Hey, what is going on here? Okay, so now we have our fabrics back. I'm taking these two purple shades to make the mask half and half. Now I'm pinning the pattern. I'll trace it with some chalk. And then I'm taking the pins out. And now to make the other side, don't forget to flip the pattern because we need a left and a right piece. And if we don't flip it, both pieces will look the same. Once I have both pieces, I'll be cutting them off. And I'm going to need two more for the inside. Now it's time to finally start sewing. I'm going to sew this by hand, so anyone can do it at home. So I'll start by pinning these two together. And now I need a needle. Oh, thank you, friend. Pull the thread through the needle's eye. And now I'll tie a knot in the end. I'm going to sew from here to here with a straight stitch. Like this. Now let's speed up a little. And it should end up looking like this. Now you can leave it this way, but I personally prefer to give it a second row of stitching because you end up with a very clean and professional finish. Okay, so when we're finished, we tie a knot, took the pins out, and make sure that the seams are looking good. Cut the excess fabric, and I'll follow the same steps for the inside pieces. Now I'm putting both fabrics right sides together and I'm going to pin the sides and the seams so the pieces are perfectly aligned. So with the same stitching that we did before, we're going to sew first the upper part that covers the nose and then the lower part that goes around the chin. Now I'll take my iron, put it to maximum heat, and while it heats, I'm trying to juggle with my fissures. Okay, clearly this is not my thing. So now that my iron is ready, I'm folding the sides and ironing them flat. This will help us when we turn the mask to the right side because it makes the open edges look cleaner. Oops, I almost forgot to cut the excess before flipping it out. Thank you! Okay, now I can finally turn it around to see how I did my stitching. And then I'll iron everything flat. And please don't do what I'm doing now, because it's dangerous and you can burn your finger. Now I just need to see the length that I need for the elastic. And then I'll cut it and sew it in place with a small straight stitch. Elastics tend to come off if you pull them too hard, so I made an extra stitching to secure it. Now I'm going to sew the sides, but you can leave them open in case you want to use filters with your mask. So once I reach the other end, I'll sew the other side of the elastic. And then I'm going to repeat this last steps on the other side of the mask. Okay, looks good, but I'm not over yet. Now it's time for my favorite part, decorating. So to decorate my mask, I made some drawings on my computer to print them on transfer paper. The program that I'm using is Photoshop. It's the program that I normally use for digital drawing. I made an extra drawing because the sheet was too big and I wanted to make the most of it. And before printing, I reversed the drawing. Then I printed everything. And it was time to cut all the pieces. Cutting the spirals out was a nightmare because it's like a very thin curved line and it took me a lot of time. So I waited for my iron to heat and then I started ironing the spirals. Then I added the band-aid and finally added the tiny lovely hearts. As I started peeling off the drawings, I realized that the colors weren't looking as they were supposed to. So I decided to take a quick look to the instructions and I found: do not use in dark fabrics. The transfer paper for dark fabrics doesn't work the same way. Oops! Anyway, it didn't turn out so bad after all, I think. Following the instructions, I gave it an extra ironing with this paper as protection. And this is how it turned out. So once you have your pattern, you can make as many masks as you want. And if you're as fashionable as I am, you can make them reversible to match all your outfits. Okay, so this was all for this video. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sending you a big fluffy kitty hug. Bye!